What women really want from men has long been a source of consternation. What is it about us that draws them in? Do they want a guy who is always obedient and polite to them, or do they prefer a strong, dominating warrior like a Spartan? You'll quickly notice that females' claims of sexual interest and who they actually end up with are frequently diametrically opposed. One of the most appealing male stereotypes of all time is the bad boy. Think about the guys at work or school who seem to have girls bulldoze each other to get to them. Surprisingly, the majority of these guys aren't even particularly attractive. These are the guys that the girls are after. These guys appear more grungy than the equally attractive couples seen in many Hollywood films. How does an attractive girl who looks like Barbie end up with a large lumberjack type of guy? At the same time, you see incredibly good-looking men walking around with women who aren't exactly picture-perfect princesses. The solution to this enormous mystery is closer than you might think. It's also very simple to understand. The only real significance between males who have and do not have exceptionally attractive girlfriends is in their behavior and attitude. The majority of women are finely tuned instruments that are constantly trying to analyze the implicit meanings behind a man's behavior. To put it another way, they are naturally skilled at analyzing nonverbal cues such as voice tonality and body language, among other things. A majority of girls will say that they want a nice guy. However, given the right circumstances, they usually end up with the bad boy. However, the conventional bad boy possesses many characteristics that we dislike or don't want to develop, such as a lack of concern for others. Both men and women are subconsciously attracted to one another. As a result, we usually have no control over what tends to attract us. Think about that for a moment. Males and females have no control over what attracts them, but they can actively object to it. The law of attraction, on the other hand, will always exist. Consider that every girl possesses a set of master switches that dictate her attraction. Almost all of these switches, for things like unpredictability, confidence, mystery, and pure masculinity, are shattered by typical bad boy behavior. All you have to do to have the same effect on the majority of ladies is act in the same way. The technique, however, is to keep the good aspects of the bad while removing those which will get you in trouble with the law or make you unstable. If you follow the simple rules, you'll discover that you can be a Spartan version of the bad boy, with all of his good characteristics, but none of his negative ones. The first rule is to be tough on the outside while also being loving and sensitive on the inside. Almost every woman fantasizes about being with a man who has a rugged exterior but also has a more sensitive side. Second, the bad boy will express his viewpoint regardless of what others think. One thing to remember is that a high-value man never puts other people's opinions ahead of his own. In other words, work on yourself and your image for your own sake rather than the validation of others. The third principle is primarily about your outward appearance and body language. The bad boy keeps his back straight, his head elevated, and his chin slightly raised. When seated, they take up a lot of space. One could argue that the defining feature, the most common trait among all of them, is a lack of regard for what others think of him. People will always share their thoughts with you no matter where you go in life. Most of the time, they communicate this non-verbally through their body language, tone of voice, or the way they look at you. At other times, they may even tell you directly. Realizing that all of these, as well as all of the people who judge you as you walk through the halls of your school or profession, are just perceptions, is the defining and most important quality of a bad boy. However, the only perspective that truly matters is your own, the only one who is more important than the others. These are the fundamental factors that most girls find appealing in a bad boy. The faster you put them into action, the better your life will be. According to a well-known proverb, he who believes he can and he who believes he can't are both usually correct. Consider the following scenario. There are two guys and one of them has girls standing in line to be with him. The other, on the other hand, is unable to lure any females. However, the plot twist is right here. These guys are both attractive and intelligent. In reality, they are mirror images of one another. The only difference is that one feels deserving of girls' attention and all of life's wonderful things. However, the other person believes he does not. Both are correct. For many years, girls have had a strong attraction to bad boys because that is how they were intended. They literally can't help themselves. And all you have to do is to keep the positive characteristics of a bad boy while eliminating the negative ones. And you can implant these new ideas and benefit from them by doing so on a regular basis through repetition and practice. Thanks for watching. If you like our stuff, subscribe for more motivational content. See you in the next video of The Generous.